Welcome to a brand new episode of Wednesday Night KK. I'm your host, Kris Avalon, and for the next, hopefully, 90 minutes. Because, sometimes I go a little on my little tangents, and the show lasts longer than it's supposed to. But yes, we are here. We're going to be discussing all the latest pop culture topics and maybe a little politics. But this week, I don't feel like there's anything political that we need to kind of talk about that's going on with the current times. So we're just going to focus on a lot of entertainment news. A lot of stuff came out, so we're definitely going to break that down. Some of the big stories that we're going to be discussing this evening. Some topics on Britney Spears, Diplo. There's rumors are swirling that he might be the white equivalent of R. Kelly. And I got some tea on Keke Palmer. Oh, yeah, he also went around and claimed he slept with Beyonce. So we need to talk about that. I guess the Beehive done swarmed him. So we're going to talk about that, as well as some tea on Keke Palmer. In Vogue, some award shows had happened recently. I did not know the EMAs happened on Sunday, but I found out today when I was doing a little bit of my entertainment roundups and stuff over on Tribe. I was doing a little research, kind of find out EMAs exist. Happened over the weekend. What's going on with promotions? Promotions are horrible in regards to these award shows. They just dropping out of the sky, and then they expect us to just know when these shits air. But so I've got some news on some EMA winners. The Soul Train Awards nominations came out today. I also got some tea on the Braxton Family Values, as well as there's some rumors swirling about Maluma being, how you doing? As in, he might be a little bisexual. So he likes little boy action, little girl action. There's some clairvoyant that's going around spreading this news. We'll break that down, as well as a whole lot more stuff on that's going on in entertainment. But one of the top things I want to do is I want to do a rapid fire round before we get to the big stories. One being that there's been so rapid fire basically is just a little bit of news that I want to get around to in regards to talking about some stuff that's going on in entertainment. So one of the stories that came out that I thought was fairly interesting is Netflix has decided to go off and do a little experiment in France in regards of launching some linear channel. So the thing is called Direct. It's the linear channel, which is only available to subscribers, will air French, international, and U.S. feature films and TV series that are available on the streaming service. However, the channel will only be accessible via the service's web browser, unlike its streaming service, which is found on set-top boxes, thanks to distribution deals with French telco groups such as Orange, Canal Plus, and SFR. This is stories from Variety, by the way. So what they're trying to do is, if people don't understand what linear channels kind of means, it basically means that they're trying to copy off, well, okay, let's call it what it is, copying. So basically they're trying to do what network television does, which is they're trying to set up a schedule for shows. So you could watch The Umbrella Academy at 8 o'clock. Then afterwards you can watch, 13 Reasons Why at 9 o'clock. And then at 10 o'clock, they'll put on one of their other shows, which would be like, what's that show? Van Helsing. So it's basically like whatever's on there, instead of being, everybody talking about, oh my God, there's a new season of Ozark up. It basically lets you know what time it comes on, and then you could just go in and watch it at that time instead of, well, the whole season just dropped, so let me just stream it that way or just binge watch it. Me, in regards to this topic, I don't know if I don't like that. First of all, what I love about Netflix is that Netflix is different from all the other streaming services. It's a streaming service that when you drop a season, I could just go in and watch what I want to watch on my own time. I could watch 4 episodes, take a break, because I don't like binge watching to the point of the whole season in like a day. I don't like doing it. If I love a show like Umbrella Academy, I will stretch it out until it's at a point where, okay, I'm ready to move on, because I don't want to sit and watch a whole season in one sitting, because to me, I want to just take it all in and really absorb the show and love the show and all that other stuff. So with Netflix doing this, I don't like this idea. I don't like the fact that they're running around trying to copy and fall into line with all these, with what network television and stuff is doing. So to me, I feel like it's cool that if you want to test it out in a different country like France. France is a great way to do it. I don't think it would work in the US, but yeah, test it out over there, see how it is. I don't think it's going to, what's the word? I don't think it's going to hit it out of the park. Like, I don't think they're going to hit it out of the park. I don't think they're going to get a home run with it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So do the test. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, at least you tried, and that it is what it is. So let me know what you guys think about this. Me personally, like I said, with Netflix, I like to just, if a new season of something comes out, I like to just jump in and watch it when I feel like watching it. I've always been the type of person, whenever I watch Netflix, I don't jump on the bandwagon when everyone else is doing it. I like to wait till all the noise dies down and get into a show. Like, it took me literally like a month after the second season of Umbrella Academy aired is when I jumped in and started watching it. I don't like to watch everything when everybody else is watching it. And I try to avoid social media for all the damn spoilers, because y'all love spoiling shit too. Now, speaking of the Umbrella Academy, so it was announced yesterday that the Umbrella Academy has been renewed for a third season. So this also this comes from the Hollywood Reporter. So the streamer has handed out a third season renewal of the drama from Universal Content Productions and showrunner Steve Blackman. Production on the next batch of 10 episodes will begin in February in Toronto. So the show, which stars Ellen Page, Tom Hopper, who, speaking of which, Tom Hopper, he's the one that plays, oh my God, I forgot his name, but his character, but he plays like the gorilla, the half man, half gorilla type character. Tom Hopper is actually about to star in a Resident Evil remake. I forgot the character he plays, but I know it's on Tribe somewhere. Tribe.com, the other website that I write for. So, yeah, so the show stars Ellen Page, Tom Hopper, David Castaneda, Emmy Raver Lampman, Robert Sheehan, Aidan Gallagher, and Justin H. Min. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this all works out, because remember in season 2, spoiler alert, they wound up jumping back from the 60s into what seemed like their right timeline. But then when they got back, it was kind of sort of altered, and they were like, well, what are you doing here in the Umbrella? So I'm just interested in seeing how this is. And to me personally, I love Umbrella Academy more so than The Boys. Like, I get the whole thing with all these other shows, but to me, Umbrella Academy, I like that show more than I like The Boys over at Amazon. So I'm pretty excited that Umbrella Academy is coming back. I'm sure we'll probably get it sometime in the fall of 2021. I'm excited. So yeah, congratulations to Umbrella Academy for getting another season, because you know how I feel about Netflix. Netflix, y'all like to play yourselves in a lot of ways in regards of when it comes to a show is doing really well. And then the first thing y'all do is, oh yeah, the show's going well, but guess what? We're canceling it. I'm like, excuse you? Like, this is why I always feel a little skeptical. And that's another reason I just realized why it just hit me. Why I am skeptical of really jumping in and getting comfortable with a Netflix show. Because a lot of times, 1 minute I'll love a show, and then 5 minutes later, y'all done canceled it. And it's like, why? So I get irritated with Netflix in that regard at times. But yeah, congratulations to Umbrella Academy for getting another season. Now, something that I did not expect to even know or be aware that was going to be happening. There was a movie that came out this year. I believe it was like a week before, coronavirus pandemic tea started spilling and things got worse, and then theaters had to be shut down and we couldn't do any indoor anything. So one of the movies that suffered at the hands of this happened to be Bloodshot. Now, with Bloodshot, I'm going to say something. Well, you know me, I don't hold my tongue for nothing. But Bloodshot, to me, I did not like it at all. In fact, I thought it was terrible. I thought the acting was subpar. I thought the special effects and a lot of the action was just so ho-hum. There was nothing innovative that I saw in there that gave me goosebumps. It's kind of like, you know what? One of the kings of this, I would always say, is Keanu Reeves. Like, he's taken special effects and action to a different level and twice. So one of them would have to be The Matrix, how he just redefined cinema by being a part of that movie and the visual effects and the fight scenes and the action and all this stuff. Second time that happened was with John Wick. Since then, like, I love Vin Diesel. I like his films. I like, he's a pretty good action movie star. But when it comes to certain films that he does, there's nothing innovative. I just feel like you just copy what's popular. But to me, it just felt like everything in Bloodshot was dated. But that hasn't stopped the studio from making a sequel. So yeah, we're getting a sequel to Bloodshot. So, according to Screen Rant, they're getting a sequel, and it's based on the 1992 Valiant comic series. Bloodshot stars Diesel as Ray Garrison, a former Marine killed in action who was brought back to life by an organization to be turned into an indestructible super soldier through nanotechnology. Now, I like the whole idea of the nanotechnology and someone who has nanotech running through his blood. He's able to regenerate and stuff. So I like that, but I would really like to see them take it further in regards of like character development and some cool special effects. Like just being more creative in regards of the action and everything else. I know they made it on a small budget, but who cares? Like, there's been so many movies that are really good that have been done on a modest budget. John Wick being one. The first one cost $20 million to make. And you see how people just love that film. So money doesn't equate. Putting up $200 million or whatever behind a film doesn't equate that it's going to be awesome. So what I'm hoping is, because, look, Fast and the Furious, in my opinion, did not get good until the fifth one. So you see how many times they had to make sequels for that franchise to actually catch on and get better. And it ended up being a $1 billion franchise. So hopefully, Vin Diesel, or maybe Vin Diesel's hoping that lightning will strike twice because, after the 11th film, they're ending this portion of the Fast and Furious franchise, but I'm sure they're going to be spinning it off to a multitude of different films or sidequels or, all these other different things, which they've been doing. So maybe with this film, with Bloodshot, they'll be able to kind of do the same thing. And maybe, who knows, by the third, fourth, or fifth film, it'll actually start getting good. Hopefully they won't have to get that far. It'll actually be good in the sequel. So yeah, shout out to Vin Diesel, shout out to Bloodshot. And you know what? Even though I didn't like the sequel, the original film, I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with the next one. I didn't know who's directing it. I didn't know who's writing it before I can make a full opinion on it, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Bloodshot. I'm willing to give Bloodshot a shot and see if it's, worth checking out. Now, last but certainly not least, I have another story about the one and only Alex Trebek in Jeopardy. So, one of the things I know, like, he just passed away, and I know, like, his body isn't even cold or in the grave. They didn't even bury his ass yet. But word on the street is they're already talking about his replacement. And I know a lot of people are pretty much upset about it, that Alex Trebek, that they're already talking about a replacement. So a couple of the names that are swirling, this is according to Variety, people don't want anyone to replace him. I guess they feel like Alex Trebek was the only one who was ever do it. He is the only one that no one can host the show because Alex Trebek is an icon. So the names that have been swirling around is Ken Jennings, who earlier this year was crowned the champion of the Jeopardy Greatest of All Time tournament, and we've seen him on the show a lot if you've been watching Jeopardy. Also, there was a matchup between him, James Holzhauer, and Brad Rutter. So they're all fan favorites, but I don't think they're going to be doing it. Also, other names that have been thrown around in the mix happen to be, but I heard that they're about to join. Sarah Haynes is getting a new quiz show called The Chase. She's hosting it, actually. And so Jennings, Holzhauer, and Rutter are going to co-star on this new ABC quiz show, The Chase. I've never heard of it because I really don't, like I said, I don't watch commercials. I don't watch ABC. I do watch ABC, but only for, I have ABC on my Hulu, and they don't show advertisements and stuff like that. I haven't seen a commercial for it. I just see a lot of pharmacy commercials. If you got a loose booty hole, don't take this drug. It's all stuff like that. So another other names that have been floating around is CNN anchor Anderson Cooper, and another one is George Stephanopoulos. So this might not be a popular opinion, but I have to say that this is show business, and the show must go on. You cannot expect for because someone has passed away, that all of a sudden the money stops. Jeopardy is a household show that has been on for almost 40 years. And yes, I love Alex Trebek. Alex Trebek definitely made Jeopardy what it is. But now that he's passed on, there's a lot of jobs at stake. And so if you look at it from the standpoint of, if a CEO of a company passed away, you think the company is just going to go under because the CEO is no longer there? No, you replace him with another person who will keep the business going. Alex Trebek is a personality. So we need to stop holding celebrities and people who are in the public eye to this godlike standard that because they're famous, that no one can replace them. It's the same thing I have to say about Chadwick Boseman in Black Panther. Yes, it's unfortunate that he passed away. Yes, I would have loved to have seen Chadwick Boseman in a Black Panther sequel. It sucks that he died of cancer. Like, two men we've lost, two icons we've lost due to cancer. Cancer sucks. I totally agree with that. But do you think I'm going to stop a $1 billion grossing franchise like Black Panther because Chadwick Boseman can no longer be a part of it? You bring in a new actor. The actor does what he needs to do as an actor to elevate that character. Don't copy off of what so-and-so did. Same thing with Alex Trebek. If y'all, whoever you find as a host of this show, I think, and I actually think Anderson Cooper would be a great choice to kind of host the show. If you could bring somebody in and do that, to me, in my opinion, I feel like that would be a great choice. And just do what you need to do. Don't try to emulate or copy what someone else is doing. I was trying to remember, damn, what was the name of the show? There was somebody else that was brought in, and gosh, I can't remember who it is. But I was like, don't try to copy off of Tyra Banks with Dancing with the Stars. I was like, girl, don't go in trying to do what Tom Bergeron does. Yes, Tom Bergeron isn't dead. He's very much alive. But when you take over a long-running franchise, just go in and do what you need to do. Just be yourself and host the show. Just do it. Bring what you need to bring to the table, and that's all you can do. Bring your perspective. Be yourself. The minute you're relaxed and you can be yourself and all the other stuff, that's what you do. And keep it moving. So with that being said, I don't want them to. I don't think Jeopardy's money should stop because Alex Trebek died, and I don't think that's what he would want either. But you know what? The show must go on, and if y'all don't want to see anyone else in the role, then don't watch it. Don't watch Jeopardy, and don't watch Black Panther 2 when that comes out, because, like I said, we lose people all the time. Cancer sucks, but the show must go on. Hold on a second. Yes, honey, I got a cold, bitch. And it's unfortunate. This is flu season. But okay, so that's all I got to say on the whole entertainment roundup. Now, what I want to do right now is bring in none other than Mr. EJ Parker, who, I like to have come chime in with the latest in the news. And we got a lot of big stories to break down, so I like to have other opinions. And, when we officially launch Wednesday Night Kiki next year, what I want to do is I want to bring in a lot more different personalities. So I'm really looking forward to having different perspectives to come in and give their opinion on entertainment news and hot topics and that sort of thing. So without further ado, let's bring in the co-host of Host Chat Live and the DTA podcast, Mr. Eric J. Parker. Ew. Oh. I've got a show on the air. I don't need Real Housewives of Atlanta. But now we're starting to show that it's out of control. It was probably a good choice that Andy got rid of it. And once Real is done, what is there for her to actually bring to the table as a way of reinventing herself? So I just feel like, you want to know something? Maybe what she needs to do is just go back to the drawing board. Like, if you want to do a show like Nene and Friends or something like that, I'm down for it. I'm all down for taking a moment, disappearing for a while, coming back and reinventing yourself. Why not? I always say that, you know, up in the road, take a break, go away for a while, let people miss you, and reinvent yourself, and then come back and create something, and, you know, come back with a different idea. I'm sure Nene would do great on a, you know, on a show, whatever. I don't even know at this point. I thought maybe she'd be great for The Real, but they already got a housewife on there, Garcelle Bouvet. I heard she was kind of boring on there. I don't know. I don't watch that show, but for The Real, I thought Nene would be a perfect. Maybe they could bring her on there, but maybe she'd be too big of a personality.
Hey, I'm here. Yes, hi.
Yes, honey. So yeah, oh yeah, I had to do that little rapid fire round and all that good stuff. But yeah, we love loving and color girl. So yeah, we got a lot of tea to spill, a lot of topics to talk about. So therefore, wait, what topics are we gonna? I was gonna say, what topics are we gonna get to? Like, we didn't rehearse this. The big story we're supposed to talk about is Miss Britney.
Yes. Oops, she did it again.
Apparently.
Yeah, it's you know, I just want to say prerequisite. Like, I feel me. You know, this is something that I think you and we spoke about off show, you know, a lot about, you know, someone that we, you know, she's an icon. We grew up with her, and this story is very convoluted for me, because on one hand, I felt, you know, I feel for her. I still feel for her, always will. And on the other hand, I do feel like the father really does care for her, but obviously money is a hell of a drug. And I think that has a lot to do with it. And Britney is, you know, at her best, she's, you know, happy and humble. And then at her lowest, you know, I think she could be harmed for herself. So, and those are the Britney, that's the Britney that we don't see. And I think that's what the father is trying to prevent. I mean, we saw some of it during, obviously, way back when the meltdown happened, or should we just call it psychosis? And she had an out of the body type of thing. And it's scary. And this could have went a different direction. I am, you know, thankful that she's still alive and still here. We're fellow Sagittarius. You know, her birthday is, I believe, 4 days before mine. I'm the 7th. She's the 3rd, I believe. You know, so yeah, I grew, like, I'm a teen bopper. Grew up Britney, Backstreet, NSYNC, that whole war, and Christina, and all that going on. Yeah, so, you know, it's just tough to see it going. But this time, she's talking, and that's where, you know, we come in with this story here. Like, she's running her mouth, and not saying that's in a bad way. She's opening her mouth, shall we say, and talking. And yeah, but I don't know what you have to say before we play the clip. But this is definitely a hot.
Yeah, I want to say sidebar, because you brought up Christina. I did hear, and I forgot to mention it because I was like, oh my God, there's something else I wanted to talk about on the show. She just signed with Rock Nation. So congratulations to her. Hopefully we'll get some good music coming out of that, because, you know, I'm a little skeptical when anybody joins Rock Nation and Jay-Z and all that other stuff. You know, I always give a side eye to him and to some of his business dealings. But Yeah, what I want to talk about, because I know a lot of people are like, well, what are y'all talking about with Britney and all this other stuff? So it came out today that LA Superior Court Judge Brenda Penny declined to approve Spears' petition to have her conservatorship removed in a hearing that happened yesterday. So Yahoo News is reporting that Jamie Spears, because I don't know who James is, the father of the 38-year-old singer, will remain in control of her assets. So they're saying the news comes after a major setback. Comes as a major setback to the singer, who has gone into unofficial retirement over the ongoing legal battles over her finances. They're also saying that because her father is still her conservator, Britney is refusing to perform and refusing to put out music. So it says, my client has informed me that she is afraid of her father. This is what Spears' attorney Samuel D. Ingham III told Judge Penny. She said she will not perform again if her father is in charge of her career. Now, Jamie's attorney, Vivian Thoreen, countered that under James's conservatorship, Britney Spears has gotten out of massive debt and amassed a fortune worth $60 million. Because, she was out here when she was going through it, the beginning of the whole Britney Spears breakdown and other stuff where she was, going barefoot into public restrooms. Ill, first of all. And then, with her cowering in the corner and you had paparazzi surrounding her, taking her picture. To me, doing that, I would have spazzed the fuck out and beat the shit out of every last one of those paparazzis, because you're cornering me and you're sitting there not helping me. You're just trying to get a picture because you want to sell it to some magazine for $100,000 so you could feed your family of 5. So that pissed me off, and how the media and everybody handled the whole Britney Spears situation where she was going through her breakdown in real time. So that angered me. And I don't know. To me, I feel like, this has been going on for 12 years. And I understand she's about to be 40 in 2 years. Mm-hmm. And no one at 40 years old should be having their assets controlled by their parents. But Britney is a different case. And videos like we're about to play doesn't help the situation. Roll that clip.
Hi, so I know that there have been a lot of comments and a lot of people saying a lot of different things about me, but I just want to let you guys know that I am fine. I'm the happiest I've been in my life, and I'm sending all of you guys a lot of prayers, wishes, and a lot of love.
Yeah, I think it's very, straightforward on where she's. But that's not all. I was doing my on social media, for the show, and I found some other stuff. But this video right here was another video that explains, where she's at with it. Like, she keeps trying to. She's like Joe Biden, okay? She knows that the outside, the melting pot is brewing, and she's telling everyone, guys, calm down. I think we have to listen to her at the same time, still protect her. That's what people really want, to just protect her. Like you said, he's been a conservator for ever, it feels like. And I think
over a decade.
Yeah. And, but, like I said, also, this could have worse. So the father did, he did his best. I think that it is the right time to reevaluate what she's trying to do, because it seems like that's what she wants. She wants to reevaluate and to have someone else possibly come in to take over the case. I mean, her conservatorship. And we don't know, this is where we're on the outside and we're speculating. But like you said, she was in public restrooms barefoot. We saw the paparazzi pictures, and that's all we know. We don't know everything else. Like, I'm sure there's stories of, so I think that the family's trying to protect her. But like I said, I do think this is a lot about and Britney is trying to keep the peace. And the fans
she's a cash, no shade, but she is a cash cow. And a lot of times when a lot of parents invest in their children becoming famous from the age of 4 on up, and that's all they know, and the child literally becomes the breadwinner, and y'all are living off of the child's income. We've seen this story play out time and time again, up, down, and sideways. And we don't know what it is. You know, I mean, I would read stories about how Britney would have issues with, she was fighting with her mother and then her father and, you know, going through all this other stuff. And I understand her siblings are even taking part in her whole conservatorship and so, including her sister. So I don't know what's going on. We really don't know what's going on. I don't know. We already know this is an ugly business. The record industry are a bunch of goddamn vultures. They're going to try to make as much money off this girl as they can. And she probably feels like the only way she can control the narrative is by refusing to perform. She's not going to perform. She's not going to put out any music videos. She's not going to put out a record. But quiet as is kept. Britney, even when Britney was performing, she wasn't really giving real performances. Like, she wasn't giving us those iconic moments like her with the snake around her neck during I'm a Slave for You, back when she was at the VMAs. So we've had many iconic moments from Britney, or, you know, the Oops I Did Again, where she tore away the flesh colored pants and all this stuff. Like, Britney has had many iconic moments. But after 2006, I haven't seen that same Britney. Something's going on. And I hope that the girl gets the help that she needs. And I guess they're seeing something we're not, because if she's losing the battle, it kind of makes you wonder that what is it that we don't know that's going on, that they said, like, okay, she is not, we're not voting in her favor. So there's got to be something that's going on. We got to look at it from that standpoint as well. We can't just always be like, oh, she's a victim and all this other stuff.
You got someone here, Corey Bell, who says that she burned down a whole gym. She just ain't right.
That was in her own house. I mean, that's I shouldn't laugh, but that is what happened.
So I got this video here that I found on Search the Free Britney hashtag. You guys can check it out on social. And this is out the courthouse yesterday. Corey is not playing.
No, he's not. Oh, he's shady. Shout out to Corey, who's up in Canada, by the way. He's one of our Canadian fans.
Yes.
Yeah, he did say, let's not forget she was careening down LA with a baby and no car seat. Yeah, she was doing a lot of crazy stuff that no rational person would be thinking, like, oh, that's what we do down in Alabama and Louisiana. Like, I guess that's what they do down south. But I was like, oh, honey, no. Unless you want that child to die and fly out the goddamn window, that's what you be doing. Oh, sorry. Because I don't know. That just, you know, sometimes.
I was not expecting that. I'm sorry.
No shade. Shout out to the South, though, because sometimes I'll be like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? But, if y'all watch Down the South, I love y'all. But, you know, it just happens, you know, sometimes the shade just comes. We got to go along with it. But I do agree. It's just like she's done a lot of things. She's done a lot of questionable things. And she keeps saying, I am fine, and so on and so forth. That raccoon eye makeup is saying otherwise. I don't think you should be out here. You're saying one thing, and then we're looking at videos, and we're supposed to just pretend that she is coherent and she's okay, and she doesn't look like she's under the influence of some prescription medication because she wants her conservatorship challenged. So I don't know.
Well,
yeah.
I will say, I do agree. The makeup is a little off, and I don't know in the makeup. But
probably,
you know,
so.
I do think that if you know, look at, because like I said, I was on the hashtags and stuff, and there are a lot of misinformation out there. When I'm going to say misinformation, let me not say that, because that's something totally political and has been, you know, politicized and propaganda stuff. But not really that. It's more so of just people are misinformed. Like they're you know, they're reading things from Variety and stuff, and then there are other people who are saying other things. reports are saying like she lost her case, and then someone saying no, she didn't lose a case. She's she's trying to reappeal, whatever. So again, we are all just taking this on and as a collective come in here for Wednesday Night Kiki to bring the narrative, whatnot. But I do think that she has a mental illness. It's the same situation, although I'm not. They're not equivalent. Although mental illness is mental. Her, Kanye, myself.
And by the way, there's nothing wrong with, we're not insinuating there's something wrong. I don't want to, sorry to cut you off, but I was like, I don't want people thinking that there's like mental illness is a bad thing, because y'all be so quick to want to drag a bitch on social media. I'm gonna say somebody mentally ill. If she was coherent, she wouldn't need a goddamn conservator. So fucking relax and get with it. There's nothing wrong with being under the, not being under the influence, but mentally, there's nothing wrong with being mentally ill. We all have a little version of it. I have, I suffer from depression, anxiety, and all these other things too. So there are forms of mental illness and stuff, and I have no problem talking about it. It's like when you are of a higher, I don't want to say higher being, because I'm gonna start sounding like Kanye, like I'm a god or some shit. But when you're an empath and you take on a lot of different energy and all this other stuff, that kind of plays into mental illness and stuff. So with her being mental ill, I just want her to get the help that she needs. But that was a read. He said Britney and Wendy are on the same perk cassette. They're using the same medication. But I think Wendy is I think she's doing drugs, and she's taking prescription drugs and probably drinking alcohol with it. Like, she gives me Brandy Glanville teas in that sense. But speaking of which, y'all need to hold on, because we got some Wendy Williams news on. Remember that episode that she did? What was it, last week, where she was a hot mess on camera, and all of a sudden everybody noticed she wasn't all the way there. All of a sudden y'all noticed. But I've been saying this shit for 3 months. Well, actually, I've been saying this since the divorce announcement, that there was stuff going on. We have that story later on, but there's some stuff that came out about. There's something that came out about that. They're saying that what the real reason was, something had happened to her on the show that transpired with her behavior, and apparently, I don't know if it was drugs, it wasn't drugs, but we got the whole tea. So I just wanted to tease that. But yeah, so I don't think, do we have anything else to offer with the whole Britney thing?
Yeah, speaking of tea, I have this extra video here of Britney, and in this video she is she's going to explain to us exactly what's going on, and this is something I've never seen. So let's take a I think I remember this clip, but go ahead. Shout out to hashtag Free Britney on Twitter.
I'm kind of stuck in this place, and it's like, how do you just like, you can't really go there in a complete state of happiness because you're scared that it's going to be taken away. The way I feel, it's like they hear me, but they really not listening. If I wasn't under the restraints that I'm under right now, I'd feel so liberated and feel like myself. But I'm sad.
Oh, well, yeah, so there you have it, guys.
Wait, it wasn't there. Didn't a story come out saying that she was bipolar? So you might be honest. Like, I think that wasn't there admittance that Britney was bipolar? But look, I get it. It's being in the industry, and you're this pop star that everybody feels the need to protect, and the protection comes around. Well, we know what's best for you. You're a young girl. You don't know what you want as a grown woman. You don't know what you want out of life. So we're going to tell you when to eat, when to sleep, when to shit, when to do this, when to do that, because you're the biggest pop star in the world at the time. And we want to basically keep you on a specific regimen, because you're selling 1 million albums the first week. This was at a time when Britney, the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, when that whole situation came out, they were selling CDs, 1 million copies first week. I remember, because I used to go to the Virgin Mega store across the street from MTV, where you had TRL and stuff, and the lines be crazy. Them going in there to perform and sign CDs. I know some of y'all are like, what's a CD? Anybody under the age of 20 don't know what a goddamn CD is. But 20 years ago, this is what we listened to. Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, you're right. It was $1 million in a day. It was like they would go platinum literally the day the album came out. So this was like when people were actually selling music, and she's made so much money for Jive Records and all these other people that it's like she's nothing more to them than an ATM on two legs. So I feel for her in that way, and I'm really rooting for, all jokes aside and some little shade. I like to throw shade in. We could use a little humor. Everything doesn't always have to be dark and gloomy. There, I'm really hoping she gets the help that she needs and she can actually get a little bit of freedom, because look, you cannot be pushing 40 and still have someone controlling your damn life. Because if Jamie were to die tomorrow, God forbid, who would be the one to who's going to take over or be in control of conservatorship? So I don't know. I've heard that she doesn't have the greatest relationship with her mother. So I don't know. We'll keep you guys abreast of this story as it develops. But let's move on to the next topic, which is, child, there's a story going around that Diplo allegedly is basically the white equivalent of R. Kelly. So I got this story from the Daily Dot, which and shout out to the Impressive channel, because they really dug deep on this story. It's a show on YouTube that really breaks down a lot of the celebrity news and hot topics when they talk about certain people. So apparently, Diplo sent a message to a woman who says that who claimed she had sex with him. She reached out to him to let him know that she contracted an STI. So she asked what kind of infection he had so that she'd know what to treat. So at the time, he denied that he had an STI and called the woman a liar. And to prove that he didn't have an STI, he decided to reveal that he fucked Beyonce. So I couldn't have, and this was 10 years ago. So he said, I can't have an STI because I slept with Beyonce 10 years ago. So you sit up in here saying that you gave me that I gave you an STI, use a damn lie. Why you would bring up Beyonce in this commentary and why you spilling Beyonce's tea? But the Beehive was not having it, and they went in on him. So basically, he says, because I don't. And that was the response about the STI. He said, also, I slept with Beyonce too. So there is screenshots of the exchange, and they were released by Twitter user That's So Shelly, who said the woman requested anonymity. So there's and the screenshot basically show like Exhibit D, Diplo's gaslighting. They said a girl reached out to me and would like to remain anonymous. Attached is her conversation with Diplo 10 years ago. And they said that you really slept with Beyonce. Does she know that? Now, I don't know why people look. I live for Beyonce, amazing performer, but y'all need to stop acting like Beyonce's a goddamn saint. Who makes you think that she didn't sleep with him? But it's still not his place at the end of the day to reveal personal shit or use or drag someone else into your conversation to justify the possibility that you did not sleep with someone. So there was another story that came out that required receipts. I don't know why this thing happened again. Let me bring this up. So, he also, to justify the whole situation, who also spilled some tea? Azealia Banks. Now, she is problematic in so many different ways, and Azealia Banks always be saying some crazy stuff, and I live for it most of the time. But this time, I thought it was rather interesting when she revealed on her podcast, which is on, oh my God, what's that there? It's on, oh my God, what's the name of it? The SoundCloud. She basically revealed that back in the day when she slept with Diplo, she said, "Oh, I had to sleep. I slept with him when I was 17, and all that good stuff." So yeah, she claims that she slept with him at 17, and unfortunately, they were she was underage, and then he slept with MIA. He slept with a lot of girls. I'm sure he probably slept with Madonna too. So I don't think he's just oh, and remember, he also was a fuck buddy to Sia. So the man clearly loves pussy. But the word on the street is he loves particularly women of color. So he gets off on hooking up with young girls, and it's saying like, well, Zillion was insinuating that he was basically, he would go travel over to different countries and have like a little harem of women, and he would go to some favela and hook up with a young girl and give her some concert tickets after he's done with her. And to me, when I look at Diplo, Diplo does seem to me like he's a freak. He's kind of said he also made out with Pablo Vittar in the video, so it kind of makes me wonder if he's into like guys who dress up as girls or drag queens or trans women or whatever the sort of thing is. You know, he does seem like someone who is pretty sexual, which ain't nothing wrong with that. But I don't know. Now all of a sudden, when I'm trying to bring up the video, well, I had it ready and paused. For some reason, the video doesn't want to work or pop up. So there was another girl that came in and claimed that she slept with him, and he basically, went in and was, courted her, and she was 19 and stuff. But also this story, also the reason why this is also coming up is that there was some girl, I guess, what is it? There was accusations that came out not too long ago that he was grooming a 19-year-old TikTok star, Quinn Blackwell. And she's been living with him and that sort of thing. So first of all, if a parent is not paying attention to their 19-year-old child staying with a 42-year-old man, that is a problem. Like, as an adult, you need to be out here paying attention to what your kids are doing and who your kids are hooking up with. I don't care if the child, is looking to be groomed in regards of as an artist. Yeah, you want the opportunity to get out there and be mentored by someone. But if someone's going to prey on you in a sexual way, that to me is a problem. So, so unfortunately, I had the screenshots at the ready. For some reason, I don't know why this video is giving problems. But yeah, so I don't know if, EJ, you want to come in and give your opinion on this whole Diplo situation. I'm a fan. I love the music. Azalea also say he doesn't produce his music, which I gagged over that. But I'm like, you know what? You might be onto something, because a lot of times when I listen to his music, it's basically like dembo, like a lot of the Caribbean type of sounds in his music, but he just throws it just has like an electronic twist on it. So these days, do any producers really produce their stuff? Like, they just hire a camaraderie of people and they have them produce their own stuff. So yeah, that's all I got to say on that. And it's unfortunate that I can't have the receipts. I will. I have the receipts on the whole, situation. But if you want, definitely check out the video over on the Impressive channel. Yes, Kanye has a team. A lot of people have a team of people. This is what they do, like producers. They have songwriting teams. They have a lot of people who. Diddy don't produce either. Like, Diddy basically will hear something and he'll tell him, like, put this on this and this and this and this, and then it's a damn song. Or he pretty much just digs into the old Motown scrapbook and will use a sample of something that we've heard already and then just put a hip hop twist on it. So that's basically what it is. Okay, so I'll keep you abreast of that, but I'm like, I don't know. It's unfortunate if this stuff is true, but I'm definitely giving Diplo the side eye. I will definitely keep my eye on this topic as it develops. So the next story that, shout out to Corey, he said, Kanye don't produce. Sissy, I mean, Diddy has the hit maker. We call him Diddy a sissy. I mean, quiet as his cat. But, okay, so the next topic that I want to get into, we definitely got to get into this whole Keke Palmer thing, because I don't know, girl, you've been saying some dumb shit, and we got to drag her. I'm sorry, I live for you, girl. You are my Virgo sister, but we don't sound as dumb when we open our mouths and we say anything. So we definitely need to sit and talk about this. So I don't know if y'all heard, but you know what? People was dragging her, first of all, because she was kissing on some white boy, and people get mad when anything interracial related. But most recently she came out with something where she tweeted, and I didn't know about it until a friend of mine sent me a screenshot or a link to her Twitter where she posted this. That would be EJ's partner, DJ Baker. So she basically tweeted the following: Imagine if your EBT card could only work on healthy items. So now you know, with her saying that, people's going to drag her for those comments. Girl, I don't know if you are aware, but EBT, food stamps, that sort of thing, it's not free. And I'm going to follow up on some other stuff that she said as well, because she got dragged. I don't think you are aware of what EBT is about and all that sort of thing, but you need to really think in the context of, you know what? Yes, they do. Rich people need to stay out of poor people's business. I want to bring EJ in on this because I know he's got a lot to say on this as well. So, she wound up saying, well, some people were basically going to say this. Look, people need to understand this. EBT is it's for people who need the aid. There have been times when, yes, I have used food stamps. When I first moved to LA, first thing a friend of mine did was take me to some place in California and have me sign up so I could get Medi-Cal. And I also got food stamps to help me get on my feet until I was able to get a job and support myself financially, because I had just moved over to LA. And there's been times when, yes, when you need the help, go in and reach out for it. There's nothing wrong with seeking help if you need it.
Right.
What she needs to understand is that if you're going to do something where you need food stamps and stuff, I would say it should spend 5 minutes in the hood and show me, and go into a supermarket and show me where you see some healthy goddamn items. Because a lot of times in the areas, you don't see, okay, the fruit and vegetables are not fresh. A lot of times they're rotten, and the nasty parts of the fruits and vegetables is sent to the hood, while you go to Whole Foods, which is way more expensive, and you get a lot of the fresher vegetables. And when you want to eat healthy, I'll use myself for an example. Like, I live in Brooklyn, in Bushwick. It's very gentrified over here. So certain areas, if I want to go and get like eggs and milk and stuff and orange juice, I don't go to the supermarket. The supermarket is way more expensive. I'll go to the dollar store. It's way cheaper to get eggs and juice and stuff from there than I would from the supermarket. The supermarket, I'll go and I'll pick up vegetables and I'll pick up chicken or whatever. Or what I already did was I made a deal with my parents. I'm like, once a month, I'll come pay you guys a visit. Y'all take me shopping to BJ's, which is I use their card, and they basically, and I go food shopping and I use their BJ's card to get, a bulk of the stuff that I need. So I find ways of going to different supermarkets, because that's kind of the way I was raised. Like, I would go to different stores and get different things. You go to Western Beef and get your meat. You go to Stop and Shop, wherever, to get like the amenities that you need. If you need something cheaper, you go here, there, and everywhere. So she needs to understand that, okay, even when you're on EBT, first of all, they don't give you a lot of money. When I was in California, I was surprised they actually gave me $200. And I actually made, because it was by myself, I was able to make it last a whole month. And then on top of that, so I was able to like have, all the money that I was making for work. I was, car fare to get to from where I needed to go. Car fare is way much cheaper. Like, taking the bus and train is a lot cheaper than it is in New York. I believe it's $1.75 in LA versus New York. It's $2.75. So she just needs to understand accessibility, the fact that to eat healthy, it costs more. And I just think she's out of touch. And she followed it up by saying, of course, this isn't a suggestion to save the world, though, really just a hopeful solution for folks to get free healthy food if they wanted it. LOL, clearly no one gave a fuck about healthy food. And the funny thing is, you didn't say free healthy food in the beginning. You said, imagine if your EBT card can only work on healthy items. So you're saying that the EBT card, the only way that it should be able to work is you have to buy healthy food, which is why I said earlier, if they only give you a little bit of especially if you have a family of 5 that you're trying to feed, that's not a lot of money that they give you. And then she went on to say, apologize. Someone else said, I'm going to say this and bounce. This is from Corbin J. It said, in theory, we would like to have a fresh food store in every neighborhood, but there are towns like in Columbia, South Carolina, where we can't even get grocery stores to stay. So if we can get a Save-A-Lot to stay, how are we going to get Whole Foods and it goes on and on and on. So it says, and then she went on to say, I see what it is. So a person said, I think people just want you to take accountability and apologize. As you said, apologize for thinking people should get free food. I'm confused with that one. LOL. How is it I think she meant to say offensive to suggest people deserve free food on EBT because that's all I'm suggesting. Girl, that's not what you suggested. Now you're trying to change your tune because you're getting dragged on social media. It goes on and on and on and on and on. And shout out to that Grape Juice for putting together her whole Twitter timeline in there so that I can read. If you want to read the rest, you can definitely go over there and check that story out. But so let me shut up so that way you can get your opinion in on this topic. What do you think?
I don't know. I just think that like this is another situation of celebrities just opening their mouth and not necessarily knowing all the facts. Another 50 Cent situation and so forth and so forth. Like, I think that sometimes celebrities want to connect to the people and want to show that they're real, and sometimes they just don't know the right context to convey their message. And I don't think Kiki meant it to harm people, but it did. It ended a lot of people. I was a little taken back by it. And I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and say because she's with the white man that she changed her attitude per se. But I do believe and influenced to think that way because it's an ideology. I'm sure she certainly didn't grow up with roses and peaches her whole life before she got Akila and the Bee. If so, then she really, right. And if so, she really needs to humble herself. But I'm going to give Kiki a pass with this one, and hopefully we can all do that and move on. I think sometimes we get a little. I think it is other people that we can give this energy to someone rather than someone like Kiki. And I'll say that. Like, I think that there are more people who can be a target for the hate, if you will, rather than someone who misspoke. And she actually clarified. She did like Eva Longoria. Eva Longoria misspoke, trying to, being a little overzealous, supporting the Latina community, and Latinx and Latina community. And then she put her foot in her mouth by misspeaking, and she apologized and
disregarding the black vote.
Right.
The fact that black women yet again saved us from another 4 years of this orange motherfucker. So
that too. Yes.
Yeah, she misspoke, and I don't think what Eva said was as bad, and what she said was sincere. So you can always tell when someone's being sincere versus when they're being fake and bullshit. But you know what? I love the fact that this debate came up, that she brought up something, people are debating it, and they're going back and forth, and there's an open dialogue. But I don't like the fact that people are trying to get personal or go below the belt to make a point. And I do think, like, what people need to kind of look at that is like, yeah, they're removing supermarkets from areas where people need it. People have to travel far and wide to get groceries. I have a grocery store literally up the street from my apartment. Now, first of all, from where I live, everything is accessible. Like, the train station is up the street. I got a supermarket out the wazoo. Like, I got a big supermarket up the block. But when I look at the meat and everything, it's expensive. Like, a lot of stuff is expensive. And I figured out a way, for me living in California and traveling and those other stuff, I figured out, shout out to the circus too, because when I was like living with them and going to Walmart, and you have to stack up on stuff because we don't know when that next Walmart run was going to be. I like the fact that we were able to save up enough, like stack up on enough stuff to make it last long enough until, whenever you needed to go make that trip. So, getting creative. And yeah, I think like maybe the whole thing needs to be discussed in regards of like, how do we move this thing forward in regards of money and accessibility and not making eating healthy so expensive. Because I come around here, I see they got brown eggs instead of white eggs. I was looking for like little snacks to nosh on. They have like little healthy, chocolate covered walnuts and this, that, and the other. And it's like $6 for a little container. And it's like, it's expensive to try to eat healthy. So I get where she's coming from, but I just feel like we can have a debate without people having to be shady and hit below the belt. So one of the other stories I want to talk about is In Vogue. So we did see them perform not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago. Was it last month or a month before that? I don't remember because, these award shows just be popping out of nowhere. They closed out the Billboard Music Awards. But Dawn Robinson, finally came out of her crib. I don't know where she's been. Said Rona Bennett, I almost said Rona Barrett. Rona Barrett was like a legendary gossip columnist way back in the day. But Rona Bennett, who actually has been traveling with, was it Cindy and Maxine? Basically said that if they decide to do an En Vogue reunion, it needs to be the original four and that Rona should take a back seat. So here's what she said on that. So, I Got Soul. This is, I guess, the article where they were talking about that the whole situation. It says, you had just begun doing shows with Maxine as part of the Funky Divas before the pandemic started. Was it disappointing having to put a pause on that? So I guess they did an interview with Dawn, and she says that kind of fell apart for a different reason. It was a personal situation that happened between her and I. I know it happened a long time ago, but it was something I couldn't let go, which is probably why nobody wants to work with Dawn, because she got into it with members of En Vogue. She got into it with Lucy Pearl. We got to kind of look at you and see that you might be the damn problem. And, I love Dawn Robinson, amazing singer, great talent. I love the original four. I would love for them to come back. But in my opinion, oh wait, I didn't even finish reading. I just went on the whole thing. So they said also Cindy and Terry were trying to get the name Funky Divas. They don't go by Funky Divas. They go by En Vogue. I left in 1997. I came back to the group in 2009 for our 20th anniversary, and we toured the States and overseas. I don't understand why they're fighting to get the name. I thought they were being nasty and vicious. I just said the hell with it. Every time I try to go back and do something with them, it just blows up. Some things are just better left undone and finished. So I guess you're saying that Cindy and Terry are the problem. I said Cindy and Maxine. Maxine is not part of the group anymore. So it's Cindy, Terry, and Rona. Not the Rona or Corona. And so they also said, you mentioned earlier that En Vogue is celebrating the 30th anniversary of the debut album this year. Will there ever be a reunion to do new music? And Dawn went on and said, I won't say never. My problem is Rona being there. I think she's great. She has never done anything to me. So then why are you saying she's the problem? She's not a bad person at all. I do know that she needs to step back if we're going to do a reunion at all. It just needs to be the four of us. Cindy and Terry have gone out and spent time with the fans this whole time, representing the group. They use the name Maxine and I helped build to share with the fans. But Maxine and I have not had a chance to be with the fans. I just think we deserve the time with our fans for what we helped build before Rona came along. Well, I don't think you need to be blaming Rona for whatever the situation is. To me, I feel like this is no different. Dawn Richard, I love Dawn Richard from Danity Kane. I mean, I like her solo music. I don't know what her spirit is personally when it comes to groups, but I love Dawn Richard. But Dawn Robinson, girl, I love you, but have a seat. First of all, you have not been a part of En Vogue in a long damn time. When you left the group, she said she left the group when, in 1997? Feels like it was further than that. It would be longer than that. So that's like 1997, 2007, 2017. That's like 23 years she has not been in the group. And if you girls are going to kind of get back together and do what you guys need to do as far as like a group or whatever, I feel like you want to know somebody get Iyanla on the line. Maybe she can help them. But then again, she couldn't even help she couldn't even help Tamar and her damn family. So she couldn't even help Shay from Love and Hip Hop. So she might not be able to help En Vogue get their shit together. Love you too, Jerry. So with that being said, I would love to see En Vogue get back together, the four, but I don't see it happening. And then for you to say Rona needs to step back when Rona has been a critical part of helping the group on and singing the songs and this, that, and the other, I don't agree with that, because that's to me like saying that Michelle Williams needs to step back should Latavia and Latoya come back to Destiny's Child. If Michelle has been a pivotal part of the group, there needs to be five. They're going to have to be a quintet. Sorry, but it is what it is. Michelle was just as much a part of Destiny's Child as the other girls before they were kicked out. So for you to sit there and say that Rona should not be a part of In Vogue, I don't agree with that. Like, to me, you can have her come in every now and again and sing along with the girls, and we have the original girls get up there and sing some of the bigger hits like Free Your Mind and Don't Let Go and, Hold On. I could go on for hours and hours and like just dropping, In Vogue jewels. But for all that, I want to say, you know what? Dawn, you don't have a fight in this whole situation. And for you to sit and say that one girl should sit down in this whole situation, I don't agree on it. So, yeah. So we have more Wednesday Night Kiki coming up. We're going to take a little short break and we're going to come back with some more tea, including we got the Soul Train Awards 2020 nominees. Beyonce has been nominated yet again. And a bunch of other people. We're going to break that down. Also, the ratings on the Braxton Family Values, because we were just talking about Tamar and them. Child, it may be time for them to hang up this show like the Kardashians did with Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And also, a clairvoyant is claiming that Maluma might be into girls as well as boys. So he might be a little on the fluid spectrum. So we're going to talk about that, Wendy Williams, and a whole lot more. But don't go away, y'all. We will be right back with more Wednesday Night Kiki after this very short break.
You're in a mentally abusive relationship. Oh my gosh, we gotta save you. And I be like, all right, welcome today because I need to have sex. And niggas in my DMs talking about what up, big head. I don't like that. I'm 28 years old. My head's not big. Actually, it is, but now we're relationship. The fuck? Good are you using
my own songs? I can sit down with a competent mix engineer and walk all the way fix. I can do those things, Mary. Can you? What can you do, Mary? Other than play dress up, snatch in dark places, hoping nobody finds out you're gay. And if I'm lying, sue me, Mary. And if you got the heart, let's do the verse. Or if you want to walk the way you tried to destroy my career at its very beginning, you can do that too. Fuck you and fuck Hank Shockley and fuck your sister, bitch. Your own songs. I can sit down with a competent mix engineer and walk.
Oh, well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the rest of Wednesday Night Kiki. It might be the third half or the second half. I can't remember. We've had quite a few commercials up in here. Or should I just do like Whoopi? Welcome back, Sunny, Whoopi, Sarah. You know how she just loves saying people's names and don't really follow up with nothing. Okay, that joke probably went over y'all head. But anyway, so welcome back to the show. We got some more gossip and everything else to talk about, including the Soul Train Award nominations. So that came out. And apparently her nabbed 8 nominations, Chris Brown following with 7, and Beyonce and Young Thug secured 6 each. Here's the thing. Have I been under a rock? Because what music has Chris Brown been putting out that requires him to get 7 nominations? Corey, if you're still listening, I know you're a Breezy fan. Definitely let me know. Oh, I said listening, like this is a radio show. If you're watching still, let me know, because I'm like, I don't know. I haven't listened to a lot of like what's current in regard. Like I've been listening to a lot of out music. I've been listening to the new Kylie record. I've been listening to a lot of dance music. So I really haven't been listening to a lot of stuff that's going on. But anyway, if you care, November 29th is when it will air, and it will be hosted yet again by Tashina Arnold and Tisha Campbell. And this is the 3rd time these two ladies will be hosting the Soul Train Awards, and it will simultaneously air on BET, Her, VH1, MTV2, and at 8 p.m. So some of the nominations, I've never heard of a lot of these people, but this is Best New Artist, Giveon, Leighton Green, Lorna, St. John, Snow Allegra, Victoria Monet. I do know who Victoria Monet is because I just discovered her and I saw listen to her music, and her music is actually pretty good. Soul Train Certified Award nomination includes Brandy, Fantasia, Kelly Rowland, Lettucey, Monica, and PJ Morton. Speaking of which, I heard Monica has pushed back her album. I think it was supposed to come out this month, but due to what's going on, I knew he was going to come through. He said, "Go crazy and no guidance" with Drake. So yeah, and speaking of which, I forgot to mention this, but Chris Brown's supposed to be coming out with a joint record with Drake. So we'll see how that all turns out. That'll probably be interesting to hear what he's coming with. Best R&B Soul Female Artist, Alicia Keys, Beyonce, Brandy, Her, Jhené Aiko, and Summer Walker. Best R&B Soul Male Artist, Anderson .Paak. I've been liking a lot of his music lately. Charlie Wilson, my parents and my sister love Charlie Wilson. Chris Brown, PJ Morton, The Weeknd, child, him and them shaky ass vocals, and Usher. Best Gospel International Award or Inspiration Award, same tight ass motherfuckers that we always hear from. BB Winans, Miss Kirk Franklin, Corey Hawthorne, Marvin Sapp, PJ Morton, and the Clark Sisters. I guess because, you know, that whole half-ass Lifetime original movie, the Clark Sisters, is getting some attention. Rhythm and Bars, Cardi B featured Megan Thee Stallion for WAP. I'm sure they'll probably get that one because that was the most popular song of the year. The Baby featuring Roddy Ricch, Rockstar. DJ Khaled featuring Drake, Popstar. Drake featuring Lil Durk, Laugh Now, Cry Later. Megan Thee Stallion, Savage, and Roddy Ricch, The Box. And Song of the Year, well, we're going to do Song of the Year and Album of the Year, and then we're going to move on because I'm not going to sit and read all of these. Song of the Year, Beyonce, Black Parade. Chloe and Halle, love their new album, by the way. Do It. Chris Brown and Young Thug, Go Crazy. Her featuring YG, Slide. Summer Walker and Usher, Come Through. And Usher featuring Ella Mai, Don't Waste My Time. And last but certainly not least, Album of the Year. EJ, you're going to like this one. So it's Brandy B7, Chloe and Halle, Ungodly Hour. Chris Brown and Young Thug, Slime and B. Jhené Aiko, Shalombo, Summer Walker, Over It, and The Weeknd for After Hours. So shout out to all y'all and a whole lot more. If y'all want to check out the full list, y'all can go over to That Grape Juice.
Yay, Brandy!
Y'all can go over to That Grape Juice and check out and see who the nominations and stuff are with that. So one of the things I wanted to point out that I guess shout out to the Braxton Philly Values. It might be time to hang up the throwing a towel on that show. But apparently it says the season premiere got over 1 million viewers this Thursday. This is the 7th season of the show. And it says the show, which also stars R&B legend Toni Michelle Braxton, living legend, and her sisters Tracy, Tawanda, and Trina, and don't forget Tamar. The ratings have been pretty bad on the show. And they used to get over 1 million. So the details is this. It says Amid the nation awaiting the official conclusion of the November 3rd presidential election race, we already know what happened. So it says, coupled with BFV stars opting to take a softer promotional rollout for the season's premiere than seasons past, the aftermath of the combo saw season 7 open to 409,000 viewers and rank number 81 amongst the day's 150 top-rated cable programs. The figures marked less than half of last season's 2018 premiere. So they're showing so if we could break it on down, season 1, 1.25 million. Season 2, 1.18 million. Season 3 had 1.1 million. Season 4, 1.22 million. Season 5 had 840,000 viewers. Season 6, 920,000. And season 7, 409,000. So if they could figure out a way to rebound and rebuild and all this other stuff with this, with the show, then by all means do so. But to be honest, I feel like we're at a point now where I don't think people are as invested in reality TV shows anymore and everything that's going on with that. So I feel like we're pretty much over it. We're moving on. Nobody's checking. You know what? As Corey just said, ain't nobody checking for the Braxtons. Tracy needs to get over it. Her sisters don't like her. Well, that's a little harsh because, this season, all of a sudden, it took us 7 seasons to do so, but I'm finally getting my mojo back and I'm coming into my womanness and I'm no longer going to take, their BS and this, that, and the other. That's what Tracy's saying. But at this point, it's just like, you want to know something? And what I also wonder is that why is it only the reason why when you girls get together is when the cameras are rolling? That's a problem. But the only time y'all get into a room and y'all see each other is when you're shooting a reality show. And I know reality TV is a great way to bring people together and to do a show and kind of like, oh yeah, it's cameras and family reunion. We get to eat together and have conversations and catch up, and it's a family reunion of sorts. So I do like that idea, but it's crazy that the only time you guys get together, based off of what I'm watching on the show, is through that way. It's like your only time y'all get together is when the cameras is rolling. And Trina marrying that man, I'm like, girl, if you like him, I love it. And that's all I'll say on that. Oh yeah, and then the MTV EMAs happened over on Sunday. I posted a couple of performances on. I just want to get through this one real quick before we move on to the couple of the last topics, including Maluma and some stuff that EJ has on Wendy Williams and that sort of thing. But Alicia Keys, Doja Cat, DaBaby, Little Mix, Sam Smith. Speaking of which, Little Mix performed and Sweet Melody, which I actually love their new album, and they hosted the virtual EMAs. One of the girls, Jessie, was not there because she's having some, she's taking some personal time because I guess she's overwhelmed and mental issues, that sort of thing. They're not saying what it is, but I'm assuming that's what it is. So it was a trio, and they definitely still turning out with the vocals. So when I was looking at some of these nominees, I'm like, child, this is a mess. I have the whole thing and I gave my full opinion on the EMAs, but over at tribe.com, you can look in the little message thing and see if you want to go check it out. But best video, they had Billie Eilish, Everything I Wanted, Cardi B featuring Megan Thee Stallion, WAP, DJ Khaled featuring Drake, Popstar, Karol G featuring Nicki Minaj, Thusa, Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, Rain on Me, Taylor Swift, The Man, and The Weeknd, Blinding Lights. DJ Khaled and Drake actually wound up taking the win for that, which, child, y'all know how I feel about some damn DJ Khaled, his old big ass. How, what, where, who, what? He won whatever. So best artist, they had Dua Lipa, Harry Styles, Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, Miley Cyrus, and The Weeknd. Lady Gaga wound up winning. Best artist. Best song, BTS Dynamite, DaBaby featuring Roddy Ricch, Dua Lipa, Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, Roddy Ricch again, and The Weeknd. BTS wound up winning. So I'm looking at this list and I'm like, child, this is some bullshit. But if y'all want to see the rest of the list, you can head over to tribe.com and check that out. But one of the stories, does she? Well, she does try to separate herself from the family shenanigans. Like in the first episode, like I'll say this for the Braxtons, the season premiere, it featured the girls Tony doing the promotional, putting the promotional touches, like she was doing a photo shoot and shooting a music video for Dance. So she was doing a lot of promotion work for her new album that came out, which is good, by the way. It gives me, my R&B fix, my R&B dance music, pop music fix. Like, it's Tony giving us Tony. And then Tamar saying that she didn't want to go to Trina's bachelorette party because, it's uncouth and it's ratchet and there's going to be strippers and it was like penis stuff everywhere. They had Trina's best friend, who I didn't know was one of the girls from Escape, the one with the big titties and the wide ass, Latasha's sister. I forgot her name. She happened to be her best friend. They had a lot of people over there, the little midget from, what is that, Little People Atlanta, that show. Quad was there, so it was like all the Atlanta reality stars and stuff was basically up at the thing. They had a girl dry humping some guy. They were doing some type of sex thing. Some guy with a big old penis, fine as hell though. Some of the strippers was fine though, but I was sitting there looking at it. This looks so nasty. Like I just smell the STDs coming through my damn screen. But other than that, I was watching it and it was cute, but it just feels like there's really nothing. Like I like the Kardashians. There's really nothing else you girls can give us. So with the fact of Tony hating that, what Corey's saying, Tony hating the fact that the public sees how ratchet her family is. Well, it basically goes to show that her family is no different than the rest of the families and stuff that's going on. Like we all got ratchetness in our family. We all got ratchet family members. Parents, siblings that we're embarrassed by. Now I know y'all are of the church, but child, y'all ain't been saved in ages. Y'all all messy. The only one who's actually had a successful, long-lasting marriage is Tracy. The rest of them been married, divorced multiple times, and all that good stuff. But anyway, I want to move on from that and bring up this Maluma story that I happened to come across from Queer Tea. Oh, yes, he got the picture and everything. Shout out to, and right on time, which is like kismet. As soon as I said Maluma, picture comes in. But anyway, so there's a Cuban clairvoyant with over 3.5 million Facebook fans. Her name is Moni Vidente, and she has nearly 900,000 followers on Instagram. So they're saying many believe she has the ability to acutely read minds and predict the future. Like Walter Mercado. But if you're a member of the Latino community, you shall not throw shade at Walter Mercado. I love Walter Mercado, but I say my little jokes, and it is what it is. So this week she stopped by the Mexican talk show called Aquí Contigo, which in English means here with you, to share her latest psychic visions. So during the appearance, Moni claimed that Maluma is madly in love with Jennifer Lopez, who he recently collaborated with on the single Pa Ti and Lonely. I should also point out that they're in a movie together. I think it's called Marry Me, which I had just heard has been delayed to the summer. It's supposed to come out around Valentine's Day, but due to coronavirus and all this other stuff that's going on. Yeah, we heard that Pfizer has a vaccine that they're pushing through and stocks have gone up and all this other stuff. So they're hoping to have something out and then movie theaters be open in the summertime. So that's why they pushed it. Because I don't see movie theaters opening up early next year. I don't. I just see like possibly the summer, things will probably get back to semi-normal. So she's alleging that she says Maluma fell very much in love with Jennifer Lopez, saying that he's drawn to her because she's a 51-year-old woman. Does she remind him of his mother of some sort? Because, J-Lo is that age. Not only that, but Moni claims Lopez is just as into Maluma. In fact, they're having a secret affair. I really see that they've had a sexual relationship, adding that the pair talks about their deep love for one another all the time on the phone and on WhatsApp. Okay, girl. But she didn't stop there. Moni also alleged that in addition to being obsessed with J-Lo, Maluma is also sexually attracted to both men and women. She says Maluma is bisexual. He is with someone from Colombia who is also a singer. Who? J Balvin? Put me on. So just to be clear, in addition to allegedly engaging in a secret affair with J-Lo, Maluma is also allegedly hooking up with a male singer from Colombia on the DL. All of this, of course, is complete and utter BS. I'm just going to say that, you know what? I don't know if I believe this story. While I'm entertained by it, while it's cute, and all that good stuff. I don't know if I believe this Charo looking bitch up in here talking about Maluma is into us having a secret affair with a Colombian singer from, a singer from Colombia. Who's the Colombian singer? Like, if you out here spilling tea, spill all of it, Miss Clairvoyant. Come on, Oda Mae Brown, spill the tea. Let us know who it is. J-Lo is engaged to A-Rod. And Maluma has said in the past that he's not into guys. And if he were, he would most definitely say so. This is what he said in February. He also said, the one who said that I'm gay, lend me your girlfriend to see how gay I am. I hate when people say that because then I'll look at you and think that, okay, let me show you how gay I am. It just shows like, oh, that's just some typical heterosexual BS that y'all like to say to prove how much of a man you are. And do I believe that Maluma might be a little fluid? Possibly. I mean, he is a good-looking man. He's a pretty boy. He called himself pretty boy, dirty boy. So he is of the pretty boy spectrum. He is a good-looking guy. I could definitely see him getting freaky or being sexually fluid or whatever the case. And if he is, so what? Who cares? Look, Ricky Martin cannot be the only homosexual or the only man running around of the Latin dance or music community that's into men. He is not the only one. There's a bunch of y'all that's hiding in that damn closet that need to come out. So this Clairvoyant going around claiming that she thinks Maluma might be into dudes. He may be, but I just think what she's saying is a bunch of BS. And I do not think J-Lo and Maluma are having an affair, because when I watch those videos and I've seen them perform together, there's literally no chemistry between either of them. So y'all can fake whatever the case is, but I did not feel that fire. Like, I felt the chemistry when J-Lo and Ricky Martin did a video together with Wisin from Wisin and Yandel. Like, I felt that between Ricky and J-Lo. Like, that fire, that passion, the acting, everything was there. And we all know Ricky Martin don't like pussy. However, this whole thing, well, I don't believe it. So, yeah, I feel like I said enough on that. I gave my opinion. Let's move on. So, yeah, let's bring EJ back into the room and have him bring up this tea that he had about Wendy Williams that had me clutching my pearls during our pre-show.
Well, yeah, I was doing my due diligence as usual, per usual, just scrolling, and I came across this story here about you know who, and it was very jaw-dropping and eye-opening, and this is courtesy of Gossip, and basically the headline was here that she suffered an on-air stroke. And this story is written by Brianna.
Wait, hold on now. I know, I'm sorry to cut you off, but you said Gossip Cop, and this is actual, like, they're saying that this is factual.
Well, I mean, this is reporting from Gossip Cop. I mean, we both know that.
No, what I want people to know is that Gossip Cop is literally a website that lets you know when stories are true and what stories are rumor. Like, they be on it when it comes to. So, and I totally forgot about Gossip Cop. I haven't heard from this in a month of Sundays. So if Gossip Cop is saying that she had an on-air stroke, I believe it. So continue.
Yeah, right. So Brianna Morton wrote the story here. And she goes on and said, did Wendy Williams suffer a stroke on air? One tabloid this week claimed that Wendy Williams' recent bout of bizarre behavior, which you and I actually spoke about previous episode, it was caused by a medical emergency that could only get worse if it goes untreated. And then the second byline here says, did she suffer a stroke? And then it says, tormented Wendy Williams experienced a shocking live TV during her talk show October 23rd episode, which is the episode that we were talking about right before the Halloween that when we came back. And yes, and this is going on according to the Globe. She has several issues during the Wendy Williams show broadcast, including mispronunciation, guess Adele's name as Hodel, and pronouncing the word sock as Sua. And in addition, she seemed to blank out several times during an interview with Adele. And you and I, once again, like we talked about it, you know, we saw some things and to, you know, bring on this show exactly what we saw with our own eyes. And it was very frightening. It was something that I don't think that, you know, a lot of people remember, but yeah. And this is basically what the video looked like. And that was her, like, just slurring her words there, and said, like, you know, when we were looking at that, it looked like something was off. You know, Booth came out and said some things going on backstage, and we don't know more than what we think, and you know, things are worse than what it seems. And you know, she came out the following day, or I believe the day or the week after, and admitting to things were off, and she's only human. And now this story, Gossip Cop, just drops this literally, you know, which was a couple of days ago, and you know. I think there is some believability to it. And it goes on and says basically that, you know, the tabloid consulted with a medical professional who has never treated Williams, who proclaimed that the former shock jock was probably a condition known as Saying ischemic attack, or TIA for short, which is a type of stroke. If left untreated, the medical expert continued, the condition could progress to a full-blown stroke where the brain doesn't work and parts of the body become paralyzed and they could die. And and as you guys can see, that's the episode that you guys are looking at is the exact picture that they have here on my phone. Let me zoom in so you guys can see, like, that's the exact picture that you guys see down below. That's the exact outfit that she has on. So it's literally the same episode. So this is scary. This is frightening. You know, if you're a fan of Wendy, I think this is something that we all need to be concerned about. But I'm curious of what you think. I mean, you know, I don't, like I told you, I don't think it's going to go away. More and more people are digging into the issue, and as private as she wants to be, it's kind of coming off on camera the other way. Never good.
Oh, I just love how you had it paused, but she was like, that's funny. But I don't know. Like, this is the first time I'm hearing this story. I remember you told me in the pre-show that you had a story about Wendy Williams possibly having a stroke. But since you tell me the whole thing with gossip, I'm like, girl, like, I'm gagging. It's just a lot going through my mind. But I'm wondering what was the cause of the stroke. Like, you stress from the divorce and the fact that you're alone and you have empty nest syndrome because, you know, little Kevin's out of the house. You kicked your husband to the curb because he cheated on you and had a whole baby with the mistress. You got the pressure of trying to maintain notoriety with a talk show and keep abreast of all the hot topics. You're probably self-medicating. I believe what strokes usually come from, I don't know if they come from taking prescription medication. I know they come from street pharmaceuticals, of the white powder kind, the one that you snort up your nose with a straw, or, you know, a little something called a bump. So I wonder what's going on with Wendy. I will say this. Yesterday's episode that you told me about, like when you text me in the group chat, I'm glad you sent me that, because I was like, you know, as much as critical I have been of Wendy Williams, you know, I'm a fan of this, that, and the other. I have to say that yesterday's episode, I felt like she was in her element. She definitely brought it. She was shady. She was funny. She was definitely on top of it with the hot topics. So maybe right now she's gotten it together. But I'm still doing a little sada, and I'm gonna keep, watching. But so I think now that because I saw the episode that you told me about, and she was in her element, now I feel like I can basically go in and maybe watch a couple of episodes to see if the maintaining of the situation is there. And if she falls, I was like, okay, girl, like, you're doing the most. I'm out again. So, like I said before, you know, I can't commit to a relationship, but I can commit to not watching Wendy Williams. But yeah. So I'll keep an eye on her and see what's going on, and hopefully she gets it together. And, you know, I'm rooting for her to, you know, because Wendy is an icon in, you know, pop culture and hot topics and that sort of thing. I know Perez Hilton was on Tamron Hall and talking about how, and it is true that he basically changed the way we consume entertainment news when he basically would write on his blog, his own website, about, you know, Sunday news and gossip, and talk about Britney and Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, all these other girls, and the Kardashians. Wendy is someone who was TMZ before TMZ even existed. So I will always give Wendy her flowers. However, when she is a mess and she's doing things that I'm like, that is of concern, it should be talked about.
Absolutely. I agree. And that's why this was definitely a top story that we had to chat about. And we'll definitely be on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have some Blue Ivy news?
Yes, final, final. I love Blue Ivy. Blue Ivy is narrating the My Hair book, which they're turning. It was a film they're turning into. Now they're doing the audiobook version, and Blue Ivy is narrating. So now she may be a Grammy winner in the future. What can this child not do? I mean,
doesn't she already have a Grammy? I could have sworn she already has a Grammy for something that she spoke. I think it was a song that she was on her mother's song or something or another. She is a Grammy winner, so she's
yeah.
So
this be her second.
Yeah,
so yes, it's interesting.
Yeah, because Blue Ivy cannot go and get a job at the Dollar General. Like she can't go and get a job at H&M. Or she can't be a regular, like she's not a regular child. Like somebody will go and snatch the blue 18-year-old Blue Ivy out of her job if she goes and gets a regular job. So entertainment is where she's going, or she's set up for life financially. Like she doesn't even need to work. But yeah, congratulations to her. And I have to say, this is a full circle moment because remember when Blue Ivy first started seeing her, y'all was talking shade about her hair, and they said that now she's narrating a book about hair. Ooh, excuse me.
Something. Something.
And before we wrap it up, because I know we gotta go, I don't want to keep everybody on any longer than we need to. Bianca Del Rio and Lady Bunny have a show that's premiering tomorrow on November 12th at 8 p.m. on Vimeo, which you guys can purchase, I believe, for like $14.99. And it's called HNN, the Hateful Hags Network. Now, what the show is going to be doing is they're basically reading queens from the drag world for filth. So it's sort of like a weekend update, like SNL type thing, but with Bianca and Lady Bunny just throwing shade at people. I loved her Contagious digital special. It was cute. It wasn't as good as like her previous stuff, like Transgester. It wasn't as spectacular as that, but it had its moments. It was pretty funny. But I've seen funnier from Lady Bunny. And the fact of Lady Bunny and Bianca Del Rio, two queens of hate, coming together to throw shade, much needed shade, at what's going on in entertainment, especially when it comes to a lot of your favorite drag queens from Drag Race. I think this is the perfect thing. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Hopefully I'll be able to see that because I'm working tomorrow. So I don't know what time it's going to start and if I'll be able to get home in time to watch it, but I'll try to catch it when I can.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
That's it. Today's topics, unless you have anything else you want to share.
Well, I just want to talk about this right here. Viola Davis on the cover of In Style magazine. And you, Kris, you wrote something on that on Tribe. But yeah, and in the article, she's talking a lot about a lot of everything, basically. But most thing that caught me was that the chat about pay disparity between Black and Latinas and white women, and she's talking about a lot of other things too, very in depth. The photos are great, and I love Viola Davis and everything that she stands for. She is a true icon, and I think we have a photo or two from it. Let me see. Do we? Oh no.
Yes, yeah. In the.
Oh no.
Oh, you don't.
I don't have the photo. Nope.
So, yeah. But yeah, if you want to see any more of the photos, you can definitely go over to tribe.com and check them out. There's a bunch of photos there. And the article, she talks about her upcoming movie, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which is also Chadwick Boseman's final film. It comes out next month. I don't remember the exact date, but it's in the article. It's coming out on Netflix next month, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. She also talks about the Black Lives Matter movement. She talks about the film and like you said, pay disparity, a whole bunch of other stuff. So it's a very thoughtful inside look, and I live for Viola Davis. Like, she is the Black Meryl Streep, except she ain't getting paid like Meryl Streep. I wish she was, but hence the whole pay disparity situation. And also, I posted some photos of Jason Momoa and what was it? Oh my God, I forgot what was it I said that he was in? I know it's on my Facebook. I may have to go there for a second. Bear with me. It'll take like 2 damn seconds. He is in, because people always posting some stuff on my page. He's an In Style Wait a minute, wasn't Viola Davis in style too? Yeah, he's an in style as well. There's a couple of pictures. I love I just love, I'm sorry, but I love me some Hawaiian man with some long hair. Like y'all just, honey. And that's basically what, like he's just she's such a hippie. And I live for it. You know what, Lisa Bonet, I hate you.
Hippie, honey.
Girl, you definitely know how to pick a man. Like between Lenny Kravitz and Momoa, I want to be Lil Moon for a day. But anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. Yes. I love you all for watching. Tune in. I don't know if we're doing it. I don't know. We're still working out some stuff with the show. We may do a show next week. Maybe not. I don't know. We're gonna do 2 more. Oh yes. So it's gonna be 12 episode season instead of a 10. Yeah. So this is episode 10. Yes, and this is a sneak. We're doing like Wendy Williams. Like she had her 6-week sneak peek. We're doing a 12-week sneak peek because this is the beginning of something, and it's going to develop into something else. Because, like I said, I don't know if y'all heard, but I'm thinking in 2021 when we officially launch the show, I want to bring in different voices, different opinions who want to chime in and give their opinions on entertainment news and hot topics. So that's something we're gonna work on. Especially if you're a LGBTQ person of color, I definitely would like y'all to come and submit some stuff and want to be a part of this show. And we call it Wednesday Night Kiki for a reason. So the show will be on Wednesdays. We just got to be on time with the date. We on color people time. So I would love you all for watching. Tune in. All my stuff is on social media, on all my social media platforms. This is simultaneously airing live right now on YouTube. So if you missed the episode, you can watch it over there, or you can just check my timeline and watch this episode. EJ, let everybody know where they can find you.
So you guys meet at Host Chat Live. You can find me at links right there. See you guys.
Bye.